Welcome back to the Samantha Show. I'm your host, Samantha. You can call me Sam. Just don't call me Sammy. And I am here with the woman who is made to mom. Super mom is what I like to call her. Her name is Gina Hackle, and she is in Wisconsin. And I had the pleasure of meeting and working with Gina through Cycle Bar training. And I've always been in awe of this woman because she's a mom to 7. But here she is. I met her when she was doing something for herself. And here I have one child, and I'm like, where do I find time to do something for me? And she's got a whole family of kids, and she's still doing things for herself. So I was really excited to have her on. So Gina, welcome to the Samantha Show.
Thanks for having me. I'm very humbled that you would think of me, and I'm really excited to chat with you.
Yeah. And, I want to get into our conversation. And I kind of shared that, one reason I'm very excited to chat with you is because I personally am an only child, but my husband's dad is one of 9. They're a big Catholic family.
Oh,
got
wow.
all the babies.
Nice.
Yeah. And but here I am. I'm like, I have one child. I'm like, that's all I know. Like, we're complete.
Yeah.
But very excited just to hear about what family dynamic looks like with that. But before we do, I start every show, Gina, with 3 things that people need to know. So if you wouldn't mind taking it away and giving us at least, what's the first thing that the people need to know?
Okay. So, I have always had a little dream to be on the show Survivor.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's funny you said that. I did an episode a couple weeks ago with a friend, and we were playing Would You Rather, and she asked me, would I rather be on like a survival show or would I rather be on a dating show? I was like, I would never make it on a survival show, but you think you could do well at that?
Yeah. I just feel like, I have a grittiness to me, and I like trying to win things, but I also think I can like smile and make friends with people. And so I might just be that perfect person. Plus, I currently have 4 teenagers, and I feel like if I can navigate that, I could probably do like any challenge that is out there.
I believe that. I have no doubt. I'm rooting for you for this, and I think you should just manifest it, sign up, and make it happen.
Yeah, I think it would be so awesome. It would actually probably like feel like a vacation, like roasting little rats over spigots in the middle of nowhere would just be like, like a spa day.
Exactly. That's what it's like to be the mom of 7 kids. Survivor is a spa day.
Yeah. Am I selling it yet? Like, am I promoting big families here?
What's the second thing that people need to know?
Okay. So I've always been an athlete, and have done some really like fun sports, including I played water polo in college for a little while. But my another dream that I have is actually to be on Broadway.
We've jumped to the other end of the spectrum.
We are. That's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm a little bit all over the place, but yeah, I actually did a lot of singing and musicals and things growing up, and I always thought that would be pretty fun. I think that ship has sailed unless I, go after that dream as like I could take all the grandma parts like down the road.
That's not. So do you sing?
I do. I actually sing at church a couple times a month for our masses, and I used to do a lot more of it. I've done a lot of musicals and things. So, yeah.
The more you know.
The more
You're such
you know.
a fascinating person. Yeah. This is wonderful. Okay, Broadway. We're going to make that dream happen too. And what's the third thing that people need to know?
Okay. Jimmy John's sells their day-old bread for 52 cents. And I'm sorry, the more that I told people that, the more they're like, that is amazing, because if you just need like a fast meal for yourself or your kids, or you want to just like, up the Philly cheesesteak game, then you can just run there real quick. We are always doing that, running our kids to and from their activities, or, hey, we got to go to the kids' baseball game. We make our own sandwiches all the time.
That's perfect. And is there like a limit on how much you can buy?
No, but it's first come, first serve. So once they're gone for the day, they're gone. But yeah, I just feel like you need a good loaf of bread every once in a while.
You do. And this is a perfect segue to how you manage a big family. How do we get it done? How do we make it happen? How do we take care of all these kids? And so if you wouldn't mind, Gina, telling me just kind of like a quick brief rundown. So I know you teach at CycleBar. Is this like, did you have a previous job, or like what kind of is your background?
Yeah. So I have an elementary education degree, and I taught middle school for 7 years. I also have my administrative degree. So I was an administrator for a little bit before I came home with my kids. And since being home, I do a lot of like volunteering, but I started last year teaching cycling at the Y, and then had the opportunity to audition for CycleBar. And so that is my little side gig on the side of taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of for the fam.
Yeah. And we can get into the conversation, but do you homeschool your kids or not?
So my husband and I are very like year by year people. We just discern like what the best fit is. And so over the years, we have homeschooled some kids, and other kids have gone to school, and sometimes it's more kids and in school and a couple home. Sometimes it's more kids at home and school. It's kind of a mixed bag, but this year is the first time ever that all the Hackles are in school.
This is a new year. This is like a new moment for you, probably.
It's a huge moment. So, yeah.
Well, will you share with us their age, the age of each kid, and give us a rundown of what you're working with at home?
Yeah. So we have 7 kids total, 3 boys, 4 girls. We have 4 teenagers. Our oldest is going to turn 18 this fall, and our youngest is 7, and everywhere in between. I drive a giant 10-passenger van, one of the most humbling in my daily life. But you'll get a kick out of this, actually, a little CycleBar story. So I play my playlists as I'm driving my 10-passenger van around town.
Yes, you do.
And it's very nice here in Wisconsin these days. So the windows are down, and I was playing my playlist, and I actually had Baby Got Back, Sir Mix-a-Lot, blaring in my 10-passenger van. And I thought I would just kind of practice what it would feel like to do some figure eights with the Sir Mix-a-Lot, getting the. So I was going back and forth, just blaring in my 10-passenger van, and I realized I was stopped at a stoplight, and the people next to me were like, "What is going on?"
Give that mama her moment. She needs it. Yes, she needs it.
I do. So it was super funny.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I love that. You can do both. Clearly, you've already showed us, like, you can do all the things. You can mom it out in a 10-passenger van and get down to, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. Now, have you and your husband always wanted a big family, or did it just kind of just keep happening?
All right. So here's how it gets interesting, Samantha. So here's our full story. We have a very interesting story. So the day that my husband and I got married, I gained a husband and 5 kids.
Okay.
So my husband was a widower with 5 kids, 8 and under. So we got married, and then shortly thereafter, I went through the adoption process and adopted our oldest 5. And then I birthed 2 more. So we got the 7-pack going on. Some of them are mine through adoption, and some are mine through birth. But we're a big, happy family.
That's wonderful.
Most of the time happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's all about that balance. Gina, I kind of got chills when you said that. I think it speaks even more to your character, because I think that, you hear about at least some of my friends who are in their 30s who are trying to date, and they meet people who have kids, 1 or 2, and they're like, oh, I don't think I can take that on. And here you are, you stepped up and you said, I love you and your 5 children. I think it's just such a testament to who you are. So I love that. I'm so glad you shared that. Although I had all these questions questions about what it's like to birth 7 children. So I guess I can table that conversation.
Yeah, I cannot say that. I will say though that I am really grateful. I mean, obviously my like adoption scenario is unique. But I am really grateful for that because I didn't have an easy time with pregnancy. Like it was super hard on my body. I was kind of a machine when it came to labor and delivery, but the whole like 9 months of pregnancy was super hard. So I don't know what our family would be like if it wasn't blended in the way that it is. But I am really grateful to their mother for the gift of her body and the kids and things, especially knowing how difficult it really was for me.
Yeah. Because that was going to be part of my conversation. Is I really struggled with pregnancy as well, physically and then mentally for a year afterward. It took me a long time to recover. And so I feel like part of that has scared me even from like taking on more children, just going through a pregnancy again. Like I felt like I kind of lost myself for 2 years for a beautiful reason. But, you know, it's tough on the female body, physically, mentally, and all the things. So, well, that's good to know. So you have all of these lovely, beautiful children. How, Gina, do you find time for yourself?
Yeah, so I would say when I was preparing to get married, knowing that I was going to be both a wife and a mother, I just talked to a ton of people that I knew that were moms. And I was like, just give me all your wisdom. Like, what do I need to know? How do I do this? I'm more of like a talker than a reader, like reading books about parenting. I'd rather just talk to people who have like done it. So there was one mom in particular that I had just such a tremendous conversation with, and she has 8 kids. All of her kids now are out of college. So she's definitely like at a different phase than we're at. And I was like, can you give me any advice? And she was like, this is the number one thing I would tell you. And I was like, okay, this is big stuff coming from a mom of 8 that's, you know, ahead of me. She's like, take care of yourself. She's like, for 2 reasons. One, like you need it for the task that you're doing. Like you need to have energy. You need to be acquainted with yourself. You need to like have that time. She's like, but also now that my kids are getting older, I see that they don't know how to do self-care because I never modeled it for them. I was like, oh, I never like really thought about it that way. And I think that's just so important. Like if I want my kids to learn how to take care of themselves and to prioritize things like health and fitness and friendships and things, then I want them to see me doing that as well.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And I really respect that. I think that there's a lot to that. So are you like an early morning person? Do you work out really early? Like when in the day though, does it actually get to happen? Well, now we know because all the kids are in school.
Yeah,
so
that's in school.
Changed,
so I would say I don't like have a blanket answer there. I think for me, like it's like you just have to be really creative about it. That's one thing that I would totally like encourage moms, like be creative about how you get your me time. Cause sometimes I can look at my schedule and be like, even with my kids in school, like I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be creative about it? You know, maybe if you have little ones, if you're able to join a gym that has childcare, or if you can't do that, maybe you can, you know, like child swap with another mom. Like, hey, I'll watch your kids. I'll go work out. You watch my kids, and I'll go work out. Or like maybe the nearby high school kids need service hours, and they will come and just like watch your kids for free because they need that for service hours. Like you just have to get creative to figure out a way to make it happen.
I think that's really smart. And those are some great suggestions, even, you know, things that I just don't think about. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I know we don't ever want to like make the older kids feel like they have to be the babysitters, but does the family help out with watching the teenagers and the young ones? Does it work out pretty well that way if you need that kind of help internally in the fam?
100%. Yeah, for sure. And I think we're very sensitive to like my husband and I connect regularly on, are we asking too much out of any of our kids in terms of that? Because we don't want them to feel like they're a parent.
Yeah.
At the same time, there is like a really great benefit to kids having like real responsibility. Like, I think I've had conversations with different people in the education world and in parenting world, and like we're at a unique time of history where kids don't have real responsibilities. Like, even 100 years ago, you're working on the farm. If you screw something up, like that could really affect things. And it's
Right.
actually, there's a balance there, right? Should kids, send kids to the factory or whatever. But like when they have real responsibility that matters, they rise up and they find a maturity that they wouldn't find otherwise. And so we always try to strike a balance between giving our kids real responsibility, but also not overdoing it.
Yeah. I hear you 100% on that. And I see it even with my daughter, Grayson. Like when we empower her to clean her room or to get herself ready for bed by putting her own pajamas on and brushing her teeth, like she might kind of like fuss about it for a moment, but then once she does it, she like just feels, you can see like the confidence and how good she feels about it, and oh, come look at my room, and then she just kind of like, she levels up, and we'll have conversations, my husband and I'll be like, she wants to feel that, like she truly, let's let her feel what it feels like to take responsibility for some things around the house. So
yes, 100%.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I have admittedly just recently dived deeper into your Made to Mom Instagram page. So made_to_mom, and 2 is spelled out TO. And it's so hilarious and so fun and so relatable, whether you have multiple kids or not, or whether you're just kind of a woman, I feel like, navigating life. Really cute, really fun. And you have the whole family in on it. The whole family is in on this page.
Yeah, except for my almost 18-year-old. He's like, I'm good. I'm good, Mom.
He's probably navigating his own.
Yeah, he did tell me once, he's like, I can't remember exactly the wording, but something like I give you credit for putting yourself out there or something like that. But he doesn't want to have his face on the
the kindest.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I love that they're all in on it. So is your husband the main cameraman, or is one of the other kids one of the main cameramen?
It's kind of like whoever's hands are nearby become the cameraman, and or I have like a very rudimentary little tripod. So we just make it work.
It's adorable. It's so fun. I love the content. So you really post tips, I feel like, for navigating home life, managing kind of all the kids' activities, things that are going on. You give some different food recipes, and then there's just like the funnies in there. I saw like one recently. It was like when you don't shake the mustard container and then you like poured water all over the bread. I was like, that's great. I love this.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really fun page for anybody to check out. So you do offer some different types of tips. Can you give us kind of like a quick rundown of 3 tips that you think are really beneficial for managing such a large family?
For sure. I would say plan. Like I have to take time to plan. If I don't, then it's a mess. If you have a large family and it's not like your forte to be a planner, I would try to figure out how to become one.
Do you guys work on a Google Calendar or like a hard calendar, or like what's the calendar situation at your house?
That's a great question. We're kind of in a little bit of a transition phase, so I think we're going to move digital.
Yes,
but we have thanks. The exciting things of life. But now that like we don't give cell phones till our kids are in high school, but now we have 3 in high school. So just more like managing of their own schedules, but how to connect that to like our schedule. But we do have this calendar through, I think, calendars.com called the Mom's Manager. And there's actually like a line for every person, and then by day. So you can like look and see your name and what's in your, but then you can look down and see what's all in the day for the whole family. So
wow.
Yeah. But then I have my own like spreadsheet that I do on my computer with everybody's schedule. And then my husband and I have other ways of communicating and making it all happen. So I do think the weekends that I can actually sit down for an hour or so and just really like plan out the week, it goes way smoother.
That's good to know. Do you have, and I will move to the second tip, but are a lot of your children in activities? Do they have sports and hobbies and things that you have to like navigate?
Yeah, all of the activities.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have like a whole house of leaders, which can be really like it can be interesting because when we're all home together, everybody wants to be kind of the king of the castle. And so one thing that we realized is we have to give them space to get out and be the like little kings and queens of their own castle, not to like overtake other people, but like if they can be on a team and be a leader and they don't have their sibling, on top of them or whatever, it's beneficial for us. So we do all the things.
Wonderful. Okay, so what's the second tip?
Okay, my second tip is get away. But by that I mean as a family, get away.
Yes.
But also like Scott and I try to prioritize getting away, the two of us, because we need that reconnect with each other in order to be like the foundation of the family. So yeah, just thinking about all those activities, like we're flying in a million directions all the time. And there'll be times where like thinking of this summer, like one of our kids was at camp and it wasn't until like the end of the week where one of the other kids was like, "Where's Elise?" Like I didn't even I kind of didn't even realize, but I haven't seen her in a while, So
That's great.
When we can just we try to prioritize getting up to a cabin in Wisconsin for a week in the summer. We've worked really hard to make it possible to go on vacation together because it's just something special about taking our unit and just being together with no driving, no obligations, no other commitments, and just connect and be together. And then again, Scott and I try to prioritize for the two of us as well.
I think that's lovely. And then what's our third tip?
Third tip for big family?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say be really thoughtful about building in one-on-one time with your kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I almost didn't even think about that, but yeah.
And I think that can apply to any number of kids you have, because sometimes even if you just have a couple kids, tasks and that individual time, that rapport building can really run away. So making time for it and then trying to be thoughtful about what that is and what each kid might want in that so that they can feel seen and they can feel known and they can feel like they are not just one of many, but that they're really loved and valued as an individual.
Absolutely. And I think even helpful, hearing it myself as a mom of one, it's like just meeting your child where they're at and what's going to be special for them, not just what's convenient for me or sounds nice to me. So I think that's a really great tip for any parent navigating children.
And it doesn't have to be anything big. I've realized, I don't know, this summer, I just asked my 8-year-old if she wanted to walk around the block.
Yeah.
And we just held hands and chit-chatted about 8-year-old things. And now she asks me on a regular basis, can we walk around the block? And it takes 10 minutes. And there's that moment of connection, And for my teenage daughter, if I spend even 25, 30 minutes with her in the morning and take her to grab something at Starbucks, she's filled up, or I play catch with my son or whatever it is that is fitting for them that they want. And it doesn't always have to be a big thing.
Yeah. I think that's really powerful and great to share. So thank you for that. So I know on your page, as well as offering the tips, giving the funnies, you offer these great little recipes. I am not the most chef type person in my house, but I love easy to make, quick to make recipes. So out of all that you share, what's your favorite, or what's a favorite in the house, or what goes over really well?
Yeah, there's a hot beef recipe that's super easy. You throw the beef in a crock pot with a handful of spices and it's 2 spices, some peppers and butter, and it is like, honestly, it's so good. And my kids ask for it all the time. I've had a number of people reach out to me and say like, my like family is asking for this recipe. So I'm all about like quick recipes that are delicious and other
Yes.
people like everybody likes.
Yeah, I'm thinking my husband this moment, he'll be down for something like that for sure. So, well, what do you think as we kind of get towards the end of this conversation? What do you think is, if I'm sure there's lots of different aspects, but what is probably one of the most challenging pieces of navigating such a large family? I know we've kind of talked about a lot, but
I would just say time, and sleep. I don't get a lot of sleep, and now I'm on the cycle bar schedule in the mornings, super early, and so
Are you an early morning?
Yeah, I am, and I really am loving it. But my teenagers stay up super late, so I don't always get a ton of sleep. But I remember somebody saying to me, like, as you know, obviously we had the 5, and then had another and another, and I was asking her, like, I think she had 10 kids. I was like, "Do you have any advice?" And she was like, "Well," I was like, "I'm not." She's like, "I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I want you to think about this." She was like, "It is true that as you have more kids, your love grows. Like you have like as people, we have a like superhuman capacity to love, like, and it can just keep growing and growing and growing." She's like, "So your love will grow, but your time will not." And I was like, "That's true."
Yeah.
So just time to do all the things, cook the food, drive the drives, have the conversations, fill out the forms, all the things. There's so much pulling on our time, and then you try to add in, like I said, those one-on-ones and the getaways and all of that. It's just the time, I would say, is the hardest.
Yeah, I believe it. And so kind of in that same sense, then I'm sure the love, the companionship, the snuggles, but you tell me, what's the best part of having such a large family?
It's never boring. It's just never
believe that.
boring. Our kids, a little local like magazine interviewed our family recently and did a little spread on our family, and it was funny because they had put in some quotes by the kids, and one of the kids said, "It's never boring." And so I just thought that was so cute. But like, our kids' friends love to be at our house because there's always action. Like, there's always something going on. You can get a game going. There's somebody doing something that you're interested in. And if one room or kid is not your cup of tea, go to the next room and something else is going to be going on. So I remember one summer, a few summers ago, at one point, I think it was a rainy day, and I did a count, and we had like 28 kids in our house.
Just like friends of friends, and all
just
the neighborhood,
like neighborhood kids and friends that were over and things, and it was like a frat party, just like people everywhere. I was like, "What in the world is going on?"
Just out of nowhere. I bet that happens. I bet that happens a lot. Oh, so fun. Well, Gina, do you have any more at the moment personal goals for yourself besides Survivor and Broadway? Like anything else that you personally have on the horizon, or is it just we'll see where life takes us?
Yeah, I think I'm a person of goals, so I always have goals in mind, even little goals, like currently I'm trying to eat more protein in my day and stuff like that. So I don't eat all my kids' goldfish sitting around.
You and me both, yeah.
But one goal that I do have is, so I got into biking, like cycle bar. I got into biking because I was initially in triathlons, and was biking there, and I actually started right after our last child was born. I had never done a triathlon before ever, and I was like, I've always wanted to do it. I'm just gonna give it a go. So I did, and then the more I literally used to run like 11-minute miles. But I was like, I'm not satisfied, so I continued to like grow and like try to get better. And I actually made a goal that by the time I was 40, I wanted to place in a triathlon. And
yeah.
last summer, so not the one that we just finished, but the summer before that, I actually took third and second in 2 different triathlons. But
incredible.
I'm chasing after that number 1 slot. So that is a goal that is definitely on my mind. I'd love to get gritty and win one of these days, but I didn't actually do any triathlons this summer because of starting at CycleBar. Yeah. But I think next summer I'll get back to it.
That's why you're my kind of person. I'm like, I want that number 1 spot too. I'm not doing triathlons. I'm competing in different industries, but I respect that. I think that that's amazing. I can't wait to see you do that too, because I know that you will.
Thank you.
Gina, thank you so much for joining. I like to wrap up every call with our guest offering just like a mic drop moment. It doesn't have to be that profound, but if you could just leave anybody who's listening with any words of advice, what would you offer if you had a platform to share anything that you know from your knowledge experience?
Yeah. So I think that I have a bleeding heart. Like, part of what I wanted to do Made to Mom and CycleBar and, have my family is because I love people. I love like affecting the world for good. Mm. And so with that, there's a quote that I use kind of as a guiding principle that I love that says, "The world listens more readily to witnesses than to teachers. And if they do listen to teachers, it is because they are witnesses." And so no matter what I'm doing, whether it's parenting or CycleBar or what Made to Mom, like I just want to live it myself with like full guns blazing so that I can encourage others to do the same.
And that which you do so well. So thank you. I think it's perfect. And I just think so highly of you, Gina. I'm so grateful that you were able to come on and I was able to get to connect with you and hear even more. I'm even a bigger Gina fan now, Made to Mom fan. So everybody, you can go check her out on Instagram. Gina, I hope you have a great day. Everybody listening, have a great day because you deserve it.